I've been having a lot of issues with sci-fi recently. It's not a genre I'm particularly big on. I don't hate it either, it's just a setting I'm completely indifferent about. When it comes to my current backlog, however, sci-fi games are sort of pissing me off. Demon Ex Machina, a post-apocalyptic sci-fi mech thing, is a game that I have not progressed in multiple weeks now because I find the gameplay extremely dull and the writing is truly terrible. I look at it in my Epic Games library to go boot it up, and then I'm just compelled to close the client and go play literally anything else. At the same time, though, I can't give up on it because then it just sits there in my backlog for all eternity, laughing at me, and I can't have that. Then there's System Shock 2, which isn't boring me, it's certainly more gripping than Demon at the very least, but good god is it frustrating to play. I initially put the game on hard mode, and I was having a great time with it until I hit the operations deck, where I was tasked with finding 3 red dudes to steal keycards from to reboot simulation units or something. This is where the frustration really set in, because the operations deck is full of complete dickheads who can just one-shot you from halfway across a room and send you right back to the reconstructor with a few less nanites in your pocket. I just really hate the combat in this game in general. The hitboxes when I'm trying to fight with my wrench feel wonky, especially against those little worm things. And the guns do barely any damage and they degrade really fast. Maybe if stealth was more of an option, I wouldn't mind, but this is a game set in a spaceship that's comprised entirely of thin corridors, and even when I do find some space to sneak around in, the enemies seem to be able to just spot me, no matter how much I crouch walk around corners. The only solution to this problem is to load the appropriate special rounds into my pistol, either anti-personnel or armor pierce, and get through things that way, but I'm the kind of person that has to hoard everything for fear of not having enough ammo for an actually important encounter later on. Maybe if I built my character better or something, I wouldn't be having these issues, but after Hydroponics, System Shock 2 has become deeply unfun for me. And then there's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which I haven't mentioned in these backlog vlog things, because it's a game I've been playing on stream. But since we have the sci-fi theme going, let's include it anyway. The game itself is fine, pretty good actually, and considering that I don't have all that much love for Star Wars, I thought I'd find it dull, but I have to admit, I'm pretty engrossed. Although this game has a morality system that involves getting dark and light points depending on choices that you make, and maybe there's something about the Jedi that I just don't get, but what the game deems as dark side actions feels very silly to me sometimes. The one example that sticks out in my mind is that I'm investigating a murder in order to defend a dude who's more than likely be framed in court. There was some alien guy and he was holding out some information on me, so I did a bit of the old Jedi hand wave and gave him, the old, you want to tell me what you saw that day, and the game deemed that as an evil action. I'm trying to defend an innocent man from being executed, so how the fuck is that evil? The fucking Jedi can suck my asshole with a straw. Oh yeah, an innocent man got executed, but at least you didn't harmlessly mind trick someone. Like I said, as someone who isn't into Star Wars a great deal, I'm not sure who to tell to fuck off in this situation, BioWare or the Jedi Council. Unrelated to the sci-fi theme, I also started playing something called Ape Out. It's a game I haven't had a lot of time to play, so I'm only on the second chapter or so, but I'm having a blast with that so far. It's basically Hotline Miami, but with a monkey, and it's got a really striking art style that I'm really digging. I've heard it's short, so hopefully I can knock it out in the coming week and have a bit more to say on it in the next video. There is one more thing though, a problem, a wrench in the gears, so to speak, and that's Dead by Daylight, the game that I've been using as the background footage for this video. Dead by Daylight, as you might know, is a game with no end, a multiplayer experience where you earn blood points and level up killers and survivors and just play endlessly until either you die or the game shuts down. The exact kind of thing that makes backlogs spiral out of control in the background as I sit here and say, oh, just one more game. I started playing it as part of a multiplayer stream segment and found myself enjoying it so much that I'm just playing it off stream when I should be working on the backlog. This week I had a bunch of business trips, so even without the Dead by Daylight introduced into my life, I probably wouldn't have finished anything anyway. But I really have to try and limit myself with this one, because games like this are exactly how I ended up in a quad-digit backlog situation in the first place. So now I'm going to try and resist the addictive horror game while I get these frustrating sci-fi things off my backlog, so peace.